Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. So the other day as I was in my blankets watching 13 Reasons Why season 4, I was reminded of some really terrible times in my life, and hence this video. So bathing cold water all year round. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand being able to bath cold water in the hot season, but bathing cold water from January to December means that you're going to be bathing cold water in the cold season. And just imagine bathing cold water in this cold. Exactly. Horror of boarding school number 2 is morning prep. Now some schools don't have this, but my school in particular did. For those who aren't familiar with morning prep, this is basically when your school forces you to wake up at ridiculously early hours of the morning so that you can study. At the school I went to for morning prep, we used to wake up at 4 a.m. to go to class to study, and we would have morning prep from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. which, as you can imagine, sucked. Cause like no one wants to wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning to be forced to study, but we were. If you were found sleeping, dozing, if you were late for morning prep, or if you dodged morning prep, you would be severely punished. So this was not a good thing to have. For boarding school number 3 is assignments and tests anytime, because apparently the teachers just assume you have nothing better to do with your time, which you don't. But like, you know, be given assignments at 22 and expected to hand them in at 4 in the morning, which is ridiculous. And that's like minus the tests that come on weekends and stuff like that. And it was just like really not cool having that. Meaning at boarding school you basically had very little rest time. Alright, horror of boarding school number 4 is no entertainment. Could you guys please start giving these boarding school kids entertainment, because they need it. Everybody needs entertainment. For my school, we only had entertainment like 3 to 4 times a term, which seems like a lot to the, you know, administration, but it really isn't for a teenage person, like, at all. Yeah, at boarding school you weren't allowed to carry your phones, you weren't allowed to carry your laptops, your tabs, or like basically any form of entertainment was like completely out of bounds. You also weren't allowed to use the internet in the computer lab, which doesn't really make sense if you think about it. Wait, no entertainment means you're behind on movies, you're behind on series, you're behind on anime, you don't play as many video games, it means that you're behind on trends, and you're just basically behind with the world. Like, you know, you could have been this really cool human being and then you just end up being this really ancient person because you don't know what's going on. Okay, so horror of boarding school number 5 is no boys. Now, I like anime and video games, and when I went to boarding school, I found out that not many girls actually do like anime and video games. So what I would originally end up talking about with like most of my male friends, I couldn't talk about with my female friends. So, you know, it really sucked not having guys around who were interested in the kinds of things that I was interested in. And yes, so no boys became a boarding school horror. Now, this doesn't hold fast for all schools, because some schools are co-education schools, whereas I went to a single-sex school. Okay, so boarding school horror number 6 is terrible food. Now, the school I went to compared to most boarding schools in Zambia actually had better food, but it being better than most boarding schools didn't mean it didn't suck, because it really did. I mean, we had food that was burnt, we had food that was overcooked, we had food that was undercooked, we had food that went places you really didn't want to know it went. So yeah, so that's about some of the horrors that I experienced at boarding school. If you have any personal horrors that you experienced and you would like me to share them on this channel, just comment down below and I'll make sure to make a video about that. So yeah, just like, subscribe, and comment.